This episode of Super Over is brought to you by DP World. From transporting the soil and grass 1,200 miles to New York for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, through to the Beyond Boundaries initiative to make cricket more accessible. DP World's smart logistics help deliver the game at all levels. Smart logistics, beyond boundaries. Welcome to the Super Over. Well, Hami, Jofra Archer was laying on the ground. Mohammad Siraj didn't know what happened. England was running. Ben Stokes couldn't move. What an incredible finish to a test match that we all thought would have been finished hours ago. India just dragged it, and it was as dramatic as you can be, right?
It was, and I mean, from just a pure spectacle point of view of test match cricket and what test match cricket is, I mean, that was brilliant. It was brilliant. Throughout this 5 days, we've had the lot. It's been boring at times. It's been brilliant at times. I mean, it's been tactical. It's been farcical. I mean, there's been some brain fades when it comes to, some of the shot selection and some of the execution of things that have been going on. This is why we love Test match cricket. We've had 3 epic Test matches. It's not going to. I don't think it's going to dampen down. I think the spirit between the two sides has got. I mean, it's got tetchy. But I tell you what, at the end there, it was brilliant to see. It really was nice to see that there was a level of respect for Mohammad Siraj and Ravindra Jadeja. I don't think England went over the top with their celebration because I don't think they had anything left.
Well, I mean, Jofra Archer, I honestly thought he might never get up again. He just looked so exhausted. He was bowling from the other end. Ben Stokes, I watched Ben Stokes after the win try and walk up the stairs. He could barely get up the stairs. Like the England fast bowlers, the 3 major England fast bowlers of Carse, Stokes and Archer, they put almost everything they had into this. And in the end, it had nothing to do with that. It was a little bit of backspin from a perfectly played backwards defence from Shoaib Bashir that got the wicket.
It was, and I'm pleased it was that way. I mean, for the simple fact is, I wouldn't like to have seen with all the effort going into it, one of either Jadeja or Mohammad Siraj just chip one up in the air.
Yep.
I think if India were going to win, get over the line, what a monumental effort it was. And for England to win, I mean, the effort that they had was Herculean, especially from the captain. But I'm just pleased that it wasn't either a moment of madness. It wasn't a moment of brilliance. It was actually an element of luck. But it was one that, I mean, when it finished the test match, it was, you look back at it and you think, right, I'm pleased nobody's going to walk up them stairs thinking, it was my fault. Because that's what happens. You do get that. As a bowler, if you're the last one out, sometimes if you play a poor shot, you think, oh, that's my fault. It was not really, because there's 9 other dismissals which were before that. But this is what happens in cricket, where when individuals who do make mistakes, but unfortunately this time, or fortunately I think for the contest this time, there was an element of luck in England getting over the line. And I think even though they've got more new ball wickets, more big scores, hundreds, I think England's efforts this week probably deserve winning this test match.
It was phenomenal. You've been in both these situations as a player, right? And there is a point where you cannot help but think, we're just not going to get this wicket. We know intellectually there's a part of you that's like, well, of course we're going to get Mohammad Siraj out, right? Like he averages 2 against off spin. Eventually we're going to get him out. But emotionally, when you're out on the field and you're exhausted as a big fast bowler and the pitch is doing nothing, that ball was a cabbage, right? So absolutely nothing by the end. It plays on your brain. And England, they looked ragged at times towards the end, where they were just like, we've run out of options here.
You have, but you've also, in the captain, who I thought looked as though he was calm underneath. I think his decision making of switching bowlers around didn't have much options. So he from that point of view, getting Shoaib Bashir back on the field, you've always got one chance. You always believe your chance. And, that famous game all them years ago, 20 years ago, that we've kept on talking about, which went right down to the wire. There's always a chance. And, you just hope that somebody takes that chance. And, England created a chance because they worked their way of getting Siraj on strike, and Siraj, had that element. England had that element of luck, and that chance was there, and that chance was taken. So you always believe, even if you get down to it, and the hardest part about them situations, from a batting point of view, is the closer you get, the harder it is to get over the line, because all of a sudden, from 100. 100 to win, 2 wickets left, you're freewheeling. You're freewheeling. 20 to win with a wicket left, you're not freewheeling. You're actually now, right, are we favourites now to win this? Should we be playing any different? Should we do? How many times you see? Like the change of this game was a run out with Rishabh Pant. And it was a milestone. It was a number.
Yep.
And I think that, plays funny tricks on people's minds.
And it's all sorts of random things. The two great all-rounders went at each other today, though, which I really love. Stokes was just not going to stop bowling, and Jadeja was never going to give an inch at the other end. Like we could question both of their decisions. We cannot question their heart. Jadeja would if there was an extra day, Jadeja would have kept batting into that, and if there was an extra day, Stokes would have kept bowling. Right, those two were just not willing to lose this Test match.
No, and that's why they are the all-rounders they are. You said two great all-rounders. You don't get there by chance. You don't get there by fluke. You get there because you keep going to the well and asking your body, bat and ball, to make things happen and play a game which is what makes them great. And they wouldn't have it any other way. They wouldn't. No one playing with some very, very good all rounders, some great all rounders. They wouldn't have it any other way. Ben Stokes doesn't want to stand with a sore knee at mid-on for the last sort of 3 years. He wants to be bowling. He wants to be bowling all the time, and that's what Jadeja does as well. He wants to be in the game. I thought they missed a trick a little bit, India. I thought Jadeja could have come out before Pant, or even Washington Sundar could have come up before Pant and just kick the canter down the road a little bit, get to 80, get to 70, and then all of a sudden, a 20-minute spell of Pant, and the game's in India's favour. So I didn't think India handled that middle period.
They had to get to the soft ball, because once the soft ball came, even Jasper Bumrah was almost impossible to get out, right? And that was the big thing that India didn't do, is that by the time they got to the soft ball, there was no one left to bat other than Jadeja.
Yeah, and that's the tactical issue that India might look back and go, if there was passages in this game, that run out when they had a little bit of indecision, when they changed the ball at the end of the day, when Shubman Gill, I thought, lost the plot for about 45 minutes and conceded 50, 60 runs when Bryden Carse was going. These are little things, minute little things, that when you look back at it, and a game which has got a difference of 25 runs, they're the game changers for me from India's point of view.
I mean, you look at the fact they lost 2 wickets because of KL Rahul's milestone. They lost one trying to get him to it, and then he lost the wicket because he lost focus straight afterward. Zach Crawley, not getting Zach Crawley out in both innings, he chewed up a lot of that new ball. May not have been playing very well, but he chewed up a lot of that new ball. It was incredible. People's champion, Steve Harmison, ringing the bell today. It's day 5. It was a proper day 5 crowd. Everyone who's here loved cricket. They weren't here because they loved drinking. They weren't here because they were on a corporate jolly. They were literally here because they loved cricket. And it was a day for cricket lovers, because it was a slow burn. This is not a good day if you're an American or an alien and you come to a Test match, because people are like, why are they not taking this run? Why are they scoring so slow? This was a proper excruciating day. You looked nervous in the box half the day.
And I think a lot of the people in here, you're right, were cricket fans, because their emotions and their noise and everything that went up and down. When India were on top, you could hear a pin drop. It was palpable in a way such that everybody was on the edge of their seats. Nobody wanted to cheer. Then there was a few runs scored, and then bang, the noise got a little bit higher. That's a proper cricket fan. And today, I think Lords has done us proud this week. The surface, again, I think we can look at it again, but we've got excuses because we haven't had much moisture in this country for such a long time. These are surfaces that England aren't very good on. But I tell you what, that will feel so much better, because yes, they might not be very good on, but they managed to get themselves in a position to win the game. They got themselves over the line, and we're going to Manchester to probably play on a similar surface again. And England will, hopefully, they'll recharge their batteries with this week off, and they'll have a spring in their step when they get to Old Trafford.
England are 2-1 up. If India were 2-1 up, that would also be fair. Honestly, a tie was the only way to get out of this at times. It was absolutely incredible cricket. We'll see you in Old Trafford next week.